So as you saw by that last video, that was some day today. I mean, the snow is back for officially the last whirl and a half of the season before it finally goes away for good. I knew it was going to snow today. I knew it was going to. I just didn't know it was going to be this fucking bad. So that's why I had to bring the winter Crocs right back out for the last day, for its final day and a half. Hoorah. Take out the trash when I got home and, go to work tomorrow for the whole day we have snow. And then Wednesday we finally get to put that shit back. We finally get to put that shit back and, hold on. Yeah, something on my lip, sorry. We finally get to put that shit back and finally put away the winter coat, since this will be the last two worlds of snow we're going to get until next year for the 2022-2023 season. So I wanted to get that out of the way. I mean, we're still in spring is in the air. We're not going back to winter wonderland, so calm down, people. Just because the snow is, it's snowing for the last time this year doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to just go back to winter wonderland for one day and then all of a sudden, go back to spring is in the air like the snowfall never happened. The winter Crocs are back out for just day and a half, just to take out the trash tonight and all day at work tomorrow. And tomorrow will be the last day I wear the winter coat. And then eventually when I get home tomorrow, I'm going to put that shit away. I'm going to put that shit away. I'm going to put the winter Crocs back where they belong for this time of year. Pretty soon, the warmer it gets, the sooner I can put away my spring jacket, considering I already put away my Spurs winter hats because I didn't know I wasn't going to need those no more. And even when I do get my Austin Dillon winter hat back, I'm going to keep it out, to be on the rack in the basement, by where the water, the door that takes you to the water, that door that, where my Austin Dillon, Kyle Petty-Dale Sr. jackets and hoodies are, that takes you, I'm going to put it there, but I'm not going to be needing it all summer long. So, therefore, I don't know when I'm going to get that back. But if I do, you'll see a picture of it across all my other social media. But besides that subject, I'm also here to talk about my thoughts on not only, North Wilkesboro coming back to NASCAR, but also, coming back from the dead, but also it's been long overdue for me to talk about this. Manu Ginobili getting in the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. So I'll start off with the important stuff. Ginobili! Yeah, I got to meet this man in 2013 when I still lived in Brook Park in the Sandhurst house when I was a senior at Berea High School. So it was 2 days before my 19th birthday. The Spurs were here in Ohio to play the Cavs. We just got Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili back all at the same time from injury. And for that year of who was going to be sitting out due to an injury or just a general reason as to why they were sitting out, Steven Jackson didn't play in that game because his wife had a fucking miscarriage, so I didn't really get to see him play. And yet the Spurs ended up still winning anyway, considering the Cavs still didn't have LeBron back because they were still in Miami. And that was when the goat of backstabbing hit the game-winning shot to give us the win, 96-95. And that was a hell of a birthday win to see a game winner in person as my early birthday gift 2 days before my penultimate day being Bobby Labonte 18, like 2 days before my Jeremy Mayfield 19th birthday. So therefore, that was a cool experience. I got to meet him, Bonner, and Boris Diaw before that game, and Sean Elliott for the second time. So I'm excited to see Manu get inducted. I know I'm not going to be traveling this time to see him, because the only reason why I travel for Duncan was because he's always been my favorite and always will be till the day I die. So that's the only reason why I went to see him. But even though I do love Ginobili and for him playing on my favorite team, his whole career after being drafted by them, he's not my favorite, so therefore, that's why we're not traveling. When Parker gets inducted, it's the same thing. I loved him, and, he was, I liked him for being on my favorite team and being drafted by them. Because he played from his whole career for being drafted by them, like Ginobili, but he's just not my favorite. Always been Duncan, because Duncan was there before Manu and Tony were, so that's why, I will tune in to watch it on TV, but that's as close as I'll get right there. So I'm really proud of Manu for making it. I knew he was going to make it. It was only a matter of time. But If you think otherwise, well, here's another thing in relation to that. With that being said, he and Tony Parker should have been in the NBA 75 greatest players of all time. If you guys, anyone who thinks otherwise can go debate a wall. I mean, there was more other players like them that were more deserving of players than players that actually made it. So, therefore, I mean, some of it was legit. Some of those selections were legit, but some of them were like, like phony. We're like, really, really phony. And like players that shouldn't even been in there. Like, whoever, even ones that deserve to be in there probably didn't deserve to be in there yet. Considering some of them hadn't like, made a huge impact on the league or on their franchise yet, especially if they played with one franchise their whole career. So, just wanted to give my 2 cents on that. Now, for North Wilkesboro coming back, I was one of those many people who wanted to see it come back, and my reasoning is because when NASCAR raced there, I was either not alive or just a baby when NASCAR raced there, and I had not touched the Lenore house in Michigan yet that, gave me NASCAR, because my life was still originating in Ohio in the mid to late 90s, mid-90s when I was a baby they raced there. By the time we got to late 90s, NASCAR stopped going there. Now they're reviving it, and I'm glad they are. It means I get to see what it's like for myself. And of course, they're not going to just leave it as it was when NASCAR originally stopped racing there and throw Winston Cup, Busch Series, and Craftsman Truck car, but as Winston Cup, Busch, Craftsman Truck, or even ARCA cars on there. They got to repay them. I mean, that's the only way they're going to make it new, because the fact if they left it the way it was, it would be too much like, the early days, their old days up to the mid 90s, when NASCAR originally raced under the Winston Cup banner, which I still say to this day, if you're convincing me otherwise, it's going to work. I'm always going to say the OG names of stuff until the day I die, because fucking name changes and everything that fucking stand for. So, therefore, I look forward to hopefully, seeing a Winston Cup race again. So, for my first time being a NASCAR fan, let alone my first time being truly alive to register that, hopefully by 2023 or 2024, we see a Winston Cup race there. I think we might see a Craftsman Truck Series race there next year. And hopefully they put the Busch cars on that track too for, after they repave it, for next year. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. Hopefully, it turns out to be a success like everybody's expecting to, and doesn't turn out to be a bust. Because if it turns out to be a bust, I'm going to feel bad. But anyway, what we got on tonight's menu, we got a steak dinner with A1 sauce. And then, of course, we're going to drink some leftover ice-cold 16-ounce Coke since, there was no 20 ounces today. And tonight, when my grandfather's, leads the way of, getting the family to bed, we're going to go downstairs and, start catching up on a million little things, the Ty Dillon and Ryan Newman the Ryan Newman and Ty Dillon installments today, and Larry Flight and Michael Waltrip installments tomorrow. That way we can begin our quest and properly finishing the 2021-2022 season before, also trying to finish season 1 of Spring is in the Air and before we reach season 2 of Fun in the Sun. So there's going to be a reaction video to the Newman and Ty installments tonight, and a reaction video tomorrow night to the Foyt Waltrip installments. And then, of course, Wednesday, we are going to do our little Goldbergs doubleheader, the Bobby Labonte and Jeremy Mayfield installment. And then, of course, we got the Booty Biffle installment, Greg Biffle, a.k.a. Booty Biffle, installment of A Million Little Things on Wednesday. And boy, the tension is getting higher and higher, leading to that wild-ass cliffhanger that DJ Nash has been teasing us about on Twitter. So we're going to have to find out for ourselves and see starting tonight. And oh, yeah, and I also want to share my thoughts on That Girl Lele finally started the film season 2 episodes. I mean, they've been back in production for a little, I don't know how long, but they've been back in production for a little while now, but they're finally starting to film. So I look forward to seeing more of the GOAT, David A. Arnold's magic, and Wendy Ferrone as second in command with the magic she's going to bring to the show in season 2. So I can't wait to bring you guys That Girl Lele episode recaps this coming season. But that's where we're going to end the video today. So I will see you all later on tonight when we do the reaction video for the Ryan Newman and Ty Dillon installments of A Million Little Things. So catch y'all on the other side tonight.